Good evening. Fox blinked on the day that Fox attorneys and the attorneys for Dominion Voting Systems, the company that was suing them for defamation, were to make opening statements in their $1.6 billion lawsuit. Fox decided to settle $787.5 million. That's how much the Fox Corporation will pay. It's half of what Dominion says they were seeking, but a historic amount nonetheless. The Fox Corporation clearly deciding it was better to pay the money than have their star anchors try to explain under oath the election denialism and disinformation they either spread themselves or help spread by giving others who are lying a platform night after night after night. In a statement after the settlement was announced, Fox said, and I quote, "We acknowledge the court's rulings finding certain claims about Dominion to be false. This settlement reflects Fox's continued commitment to the highest journalistic standards." Now, I just want to repeat that. The first part of it said, "We acknowledge the court's rulings finding certain claims about Dominion to be false." That might sound sort of maybe like an apology, but it's not. They acknowledge the court ruling doesn't really mean anything, and their description that certain claims about Dominion were false is vague at best. As for the second part of that statement, that this settlement reflects Fox's continued commitment to the highest journalistic standards, as Mike Wallace used to say when interviewing someone shoveling crap, come on. If there is anything we learned from the depositions, texts, and emails that were released by Dominion in the lead up to this case, is that there was no commitment to even basic journalistic standards where the 2020 election was concerned. Fox anchors said one thing on air to the audience they feared might abandon them, go over to some other more conservative news channel, and another thing off air in texts and emails to one another. What most concerned Fox was not properly reporting on the lies that were being spread by guests on their air or by some of their hosts. No, what most concerned them was losing viewers. Fox argued it was just reporting on claims about Dominion, its voting systems in the 2020 election, but they did far more than that. They were willing participants in spreading false claims of fraud.
The machine ran an algorithm that shaved votes from Trump and awarded them to Biden. They used the machines to trash large batches of votes that should have been awarded to President Trump. And they used the machine to inject and add massive quantities of votes for Mr. Biden. The only reason we really found out how bad it was.
I thought Democrats told us that we like whistleblowers. You're saying that these people can't talk because they're going to lose their job.
Now, that's Sean Hannity weeks after the 2020 election was cited by Dominion in their defamation case. Hannity told the Dominion lawyers in a deposition, quote, "That whole narrative that Sidney Powell was pushing, I did not believe it for 1 second. Anyone with journalistic standards would have confronted Powell about her completely ludicrous, unproven, and false claims, but he didn't do that." The documents also show that Tucker Carlson privately expressed concerns about Sidney Powell, as did others at Fox. But he wasn't saying them on air. According to Dominion, he even sent her a text message, quoting now from a Dominion court filing, quote, "Tucker Carlson told Sidney Powell, quote, 'You keep telling our viewers that millions of votes were changed by the software. I hope you will prove that very soon. You convinced them that Trump will win. If you don't have conclusive evidence of fraud at that scale, it's a cruel and reckless thing to keep saying.'" Again, he never said anything like that on his show. As the Dominion documents point out, Carlson hosted other election liars like Mike Lindell.
Every outlet in the country, they go, "Mike Lindell, there's no evidence and he's making fraudulent statements." No, I have the evidence. I dare people to put it on. I dare Dominion to sue me because then it would get out faster. So this is, they don't want to talk about it. They don't want to say, they just say, "Oh, you're wrong." And I'm going,
well, they're not making conspiracy theories go away by doing that.
Certainly, no pushback there. There were times Fox anchors made the right call. For instance, Neil Cavuto cut away from a live-filled campaign press conference by the former president's team. Watch.
We want every legal vote to be counted, and we want every illegal vote to be...
I just think we have to be very clear. She's charging, the other side is welcoming fraud and welcoming illegal voting. Unless she has more details to back that up, I can't in good countenance continue showing you this.
All right, well, that's a sign of some journalistic standard, but we now know that Fox executives were upset by what Cavuto did. Quoting the Dominion documents about a communication from Raj Shah, a Fox senior vice president who once worked at the White House, quote, "The brand team led by Raj Shah at Fox Corporation notified senior Fox News and Fox Corporation leadership of the, quote, brand threat, unquote, posed by Cavuto's action. It was a, quote, brand threat to tell your audience that you were not going to allow unvetted, unsubstantiated claims about the election on air." That doesn't show much corporate commitment to the highest journalistic standards. In fact, when a reporter dared to fact-check the former president's lies about Dominion, Tucker Carlson, according to the documents Dominion released, was freaked out, reached out to Sean Hannity, seemingly panicked. Quote, Carlson told Hannity, please get her fired. Seriously, what the F? Actually shocked. It needs to stop immediately, like tonight. It's measurably hurting the company. The stock price is down. Not a joke. The fact that he allegedly works for a news organization and he's fretting about the impact of facts on the corporation's stock price, that is a joke. The stock price is down are not the words of someone with the highest journalistic standards. And by the way, according to the documents, by the next morning, that reporter had, quote, deleted her fact-checking tweet. Turns out Tucker Carlson hated Donald Trump. According to messages Dominion got from Fox during the discovery process, he wrote in a text message to a colleague, I hate him passionately. And he also wrote, we are very, very close to being able to ignore Trump most nights. I truly can't wait.